sure. But before we get into the conference, I want to ask you about this one tweet that you had on yesterday, actually. You just dispensed your 18th orange pill. So you said you're basically a drug dealer. So I know we've kind of talked a little bit before about, orange pilling and, your work in the, I guess, traditional finance world. So talk to us a little bit about the orange pilling experience. I know you kind of got into it about your family members seeing the big price dip, but how's that orange pilling going, and what have you found has worked best for you?
So orange pilling. So I guess just for some context for who didn't see the last episode that I was on or who don't know me, my day job in the fiat world is I'm a financial advisor. So I manage high net worth clients. I manage a book of business of about like $30 million or so. The easy way that I explain it is I help rich people pay less in taxes. So a lot of these people just kind of sense that there's something wrong with the world, right? With inflation and with how much they're paying in taxes and how much they can see governments and politicians are wasting tax dollars, right? So with a lot of people, the clown world that we live in is already planting the seeds for Bitcoin adoption and for being interested in something like Bitcoin that can't be manipulated or debased or anything like that. So what I've done and what's worked kind of well for me is to use some of the same, I guess, sales tactics that I would to uh, take on a new high net worth client, but to onboard someone to Bitcoin instead. So I always say the first step, if you want to be orange pilling people, is you have to be kind of a respectable person yourself, right? If you have a good career, if you have a family, if you're in decent shape and eat well and things like that, people right away will take you a little more seriously, right? Than if you're some kind of a bum slob, that type of thing. So I just think that's a kind of a good start. And then it's kind of just knowing the person and knowing where their pain points are in their life, right? If they're a young person trying to save up for their first house, but the longer they save, the higher house prices go, and they can't do it. Then you might talk about inflation and is caused by the money printer and by artificially low interest rates, right? And that's what's pushing hard assets like real estate to be unattainable for young people, right? Or if you look at people who are maybe on a fixed income, like a pension or something like that, and their money is being spread thinner and thinner every single month as everything gets more expensive, right? It's a different angle that you can take. Also, I find uh, some people hate the government, and that's always an easy in because I can relate to that. But then the other type of person is someone who's maybe a little bit more left on the political spectrum, right? And so with them, then you're more talking about, okay, well, women can actually flee their husband in Afghanistan because they can actually have money. They're not allowed to open a bank account there, right? So they can actually have Bitcoin instead, right? And they can leave their husband if they want to, right? There's also that financial empowerment too, right? All the unbanked people in Africa and things like that, right? So it's kind of just knowing the person who you're talking to, and speaking to them, right? And the positive aspects of Bitcoin, depending on who you're talking to.